Okay, this is going to be one of the better positions of the draft class. Randall, do you want to go through your top 10 safeties?
Yeah. Number one is Caleb Downs, Ohio State. Number two, I almost felt bad putting Dylan Tiananmen in Oregon at number two because he's so good. but then Caleb Downs is like prolific. And then number three, I have Keon Saab from Alabama. Number four, I have Zaki Wheatley from Penn State. Number five, I have Michael Taff from Texas. Number six, I have Kamari Ramsey from USC. Number seven, I have Xavier Nwankpa. Number eight, I have from Iowa. From eight, I have Bray Hubbard from Alabama. Nine, I have Rod Moore from Michigan. And number 10, I have Jalen Catalon from, Missouri, but I believe he's been on about 4 teams. He's been going around for a while.
He's just bouncing around at this point.
He's bouncing around. I mean, he started in Arkansas, so I guess I got a little love for him. And I wish him well for sure. But if we're going to talk about people, let's see. I will hit Michael Taff, because I don't believe that's on his board. But I liked what I saw out of Michael Taff. 5.5 tackles for loss. If he does, he is able to pass rush if it's a safety blitz. He's got 2 sacks on it, 1 QB hit. He's got a forced fumble. He's got 2 interceptions on him. 63 passer rating when he is targeted. He is a good free safety. I think he's got a lot of knowledge in that backfield. He's good at read and react from that backfield, recognizing run and contributing. And I think that's great as a free safety. If he's in that backfield and he understands when a run is coming, he gets downfield and helps in that run support. He's got a good motor, run sideline to sideline, good at ball locating, and he can bait quarterbacks into picking a side and taking off. I do see him kind of pull to the left a little bit, hoping to go to the right, and he can get to that sideline so he can do it. I think he's smart and calculated as a free safety, and I'm excited to see how his 2025 year goes, especially in Texas, where some safeties can shine for sure. And then I'll talk about Bray Hubbard because it's not on
Correct.
his list. Bray Hubbard may stay, just a junior. Menace in the tackling, 57 total tackles, 35 solo. Has a forced fumble, 3 interceptions. He's a quick moving safety. I think he's really smart. He's got good play recognition and identifying the routes and closing them down. So he's very good at being in that backfield and coming into that second level without giving up that explosive play. He knows when to pick and choose to get inside. And I really love that. He limits Yak doing that as well when rushing the QB or being at that line of scrimmage for running backs or quarterbacks. Super agile and explosive to disrupt the timing. Does very good in that run support and things along those lines. I'm excited to see how he is. He may stay. He's obviously a junior. May probably stay in Alabama for that senior year unless he explodes.
I like it.
Yeah, Bill, hit your top 10.
Yeah, so our top 10 or top 2 are very similar. Number 1 for me is Caleb Downs from Ohio State. Number 2 is Dylan Tiananmen from Oregon. Number 3, Kamari Ramsey from USC. Number 4, Michael Taff from Texas. Number 5, Tao Johnson from Utah. Number 6, Cole Wisniewski from Texas Tech. Number 7, Zach Wheatley from Penn State. Number 8, Brandon Fontenot from Vanderbilt. Number 9 is Isaac Smith from Mississippi State. And number 10 is Miles Scott from Illinois. And I'll talk about my number 5 and my number 6 here. So first off, starting with Tao Johnson from Utah. Very versatile, a former wide receiver converted over to safety. And you see it in his ball skills and coverage. He's like a wide receiver on the back end of a defense. Very good run defender, though. Can wrap up with ease, bring folks down. High IQ safety, high effort motor. He will play all night long and into the morning if you let him. When you watch his game, think Michael Griffin, the former Tennessee Titans first round selection at safety. Same style of guy, probably a little bit more athletic than Griffin was. Cole Wisniewski from Texas Tech, formerly of North Dakota State. Ball hawk in every sense of the word on the deep third of the defense. Always finds himself around the ball. Good instincts and a good playmaker on the back end. Size and physicality definitely on his side. He's definitely strong. He's definitely physical. He also has a very well refined tackling technique. He's not going to get a lot of missed tackles. The 2 biggest concerns when you look at Wisniewski Number one, his foot injury that he suffered this past season at North Dakota State. How is he healing? How is that going to hold up? How's that going to affect his athleticism on the back end of the defense? And then number two, a level of competition question mark going from North Dakota State to Texas Tech. How is he going to handle that level up in competition? Because even though he's a playmaker and he's a ball hawk, the deep third of the field as a safety is uncharted water for him. You get him out in that deep third of the field, and it's like being out on the ocean trying to swim your way back to shore through a riptide. He struggles consistently. Backpedal is very underdeveloped, and his technique it's very raw. So you're going to have to refine it. That's why I've got him right now, right on the fringe of day 2, day 3, probably somewhere closer to day 3 than day 2. I could see that. Same thing for Tao. Both of those guys are what I like to call the lottery tickets at safety. If you get them in your building, develop them, refine them, you could have some really good safeties. Like I said, Tao Johnson's kind of like a Michael Griffin type of player, and Cole Wisniewski's like Jonathan Abram. Same thing what he used to do for the Raiders back end, but both of them definitely have some refinement and some work to be done during this coming season.
Yeah, and with that broken foot, it's also on I put Keon Saab as my number 3, but he's also was out last year with a broken foot, so hopefully that athleticism stays. But I am a big fan of Keon Saab. I think he's one of the smartest safeties out there, especially he can play in the slot and he can play out back in free safety, but I think his route recognition and his understanding of his job is one of the best in 2025 if you take out Caleb Downs and Dylan Tieleman.
Yeah. So
Randall, can you sell me on Jalen Catalon? First of all, sell me that he's actually going to be in the draft this year. I think I've had him on the draft board the last 4 years. But sell me on Jalen Catalon as a top 10 safety.
Well, to be honest, when I was doing my safeties, I wanted to actually put Miles Scott at number 10 because I just went through 3 games yesterday, but I need a little bit more watch. Miles Scott is a dog. But Jalen Catalon, he's been through the ringer. I know that, like, his collegiate career, it's not more like Barry Alexander where he's jumping teams. I don't think it's, like, more of a character concern in that department. I think he's just trying to find what works for him. But he is a heavy hitter. I really like his intermediate play. I would probably put him in that more strong safety role than a free safety role, but his combination versatility to do both is what I really like. And I think his journey, because, at Arkansas, he was a high character guy and everybody liked him. Nobody really wanted to see him to go. I think his mentals are there to where his journey will be able to lead him into a high floor NFL guy opposed to more of a project. So I think he will get looked at as if you need somebody to step into a safety 3 role, into a safety 2 role, or maybe if you're dying and you need a safety 2 role and he has the headspace for it, he could get in that category. It's all about what he does in Missouri now and what he can do in 2025.
Okay. So, Bill, can you think of a player that's not on either top 10 list that you think could sneak into day 2? Right? Safety tends to be a position where there's always risers.
Yes. So if you're looking at both lists and someone that could probably sneak into day 2, I would say your best bet is probably going to be Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo, one of the few MAC prospects that's out there. When you watch him, he's very good athletically, has the ability to cover the deep third of the field, has that tackling ability. Obviously, it's a level of question concern when you play at Toledo. You watch his game and you see shades of like a TJ McDonald type of a safety, a physical presence on the back end of a defense. But again, at Toledo, most recently Toledo's been, Darius Alexander, Quinyon Mitchell. I don't think McNeil Warren is in that same level, but I have a strong feeling that he could be one of those draft darling safeties that everybody doesn't hear too much about during the season. But then we get to the Senior Bowl, we get to the bowl circuits, the Shrine Bowls, and he certainly flashes. But Randall, I have 2 questions for you on this safety class. The first one, So on my grading scale, you can see I've got pretty much my first 6 are probably prior to day 3. And then after that, it pretty much plummets into day 3. How do you feel about this safety class? Is it top heavy? Is it a little bit more filled out? Is it a little more shallow on the back end?
I really like the safety class. I think that, I mean, Caleb Downs and Dylan Tiananmen are probably going to be blue chip players for me if they continue what they did in 2024. So I believe that we could see 2 safeties in the first round with those 2. And then it's trying to figure out who's together and who stays and who goes. I do believe that there's a lot of juniors that may stay, but if they end up declaring, then this safety class is going to be pretty dynamite. But I really, really like the safety class, and I love watching safeties as well. So it's exciting to see how it comes about. But I don't think it's hard to say if it'd be top heavy or if it's deep. But I do think that, like, once you get to the pick 100 and the pick 125, you're going to be like, steal. Like, that was a steal. Like, that was a steal sort of thing, because I think they might spread out, and then you'll have Caleb Downs and Dylan Tiananmen up top, but then you'll be waiting, and you'll just be like, he's a good player, he's a good player. So I'd say he's just talented, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. So my second question, so on my big board right now, I have a top 64 that'll eventually roll out, but Caleb Downs is my number 4 overall player. Since you've watched defense, where would you rank Caleb Downs across all defensive positions? Would he be your number 1 defensive player, number 5, number 10?
Great question. Man, number 4 sounds good. Let's see.
Yeah, and that's for me. That's number really 4 over.
Yeah, I like the edge class. I like the edge class. The defensive lines are good. Obviously, we talked about cornerbacks not being too deep. The linebackers, yeah. I mean, so you're looking at what defensive linemen and what edges are ahead of Caleb Downs and Dylan Tiananmen. Is that, or Caleb Downs? I'm sorry. Is that what you're kind of at?
That's where I'm at. So for me, he's my number 4 overall player and my number 2 overall defender behind Ruben Bain Jr. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's fair. I would be surprised if I put Caleb Downs as first and then Ruben Bain as second, just for the fact, I don't really, do you see Ruben Bain's in the light of like blue chip, like Abdul Carter, what we talked about last year? Do you see Ruben Bain in that same existence?
So he's more of in the Brandon Graham mold, that top 10 to 12 guy, but his athletic talents can't be denied. And they're pretty much on the same platform. The difference is positional value of an edge versus a safety.
Fair point. Yeah.
And I was going to say, like, there's a difference between, let's say, a film grade and then the positional value of where they stack up on the board. Because, like, for example, and I know Randall hasn't gotten to offense yet, but like you could have a Caleb Downs, and now I'm trying to remember the running back from Notre Dame, Love.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love.
Downs or Love? Jeremiah Love. So is it, which one's higher? And there's a positional value discussion of running back versus safety, right? Within that. Now, more than likely Downs, I believe, is still going to be graded higher, but it wouldn't shock me for the running back to be taken higher than the safety, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it totally does. And the reason I'm glad you mentioned that, so I have him number 4 overall on my board. Number 1, 2, and 3 is edge, a quarterback, and an offensive tackle. So nice. if all film value grades were the same, he's in that tier, but with positional value, he is just like 1 quarter notch below.
So a couple of reminders. Kyle Hamilton, did he go in the top 15?
Yes.
9, right? 9?
14. It was 14th to Baltimore.
14? Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. And then, Dante Whitner, now granted, I'm going back like 20 years, went in the top 10 as a safety.
Yep.
There's more running backs and tight ends that have gone in the top 10 in recent years than safeties. Even though people said something similar about Brian Branch, and they were saying that about Kyle Hamilton, it's the positional value will keep them mid first round type thing.
When you look at the safety position, the last big ones that have went in that top 10 range, you look at Sean Taylor and you look at Eric Berry. And those are the questions you have to ask. Do you think Caleb Downs is an Eric Berry-esque type of player? I think he can be, but I think ultimately when we talked about the edge class, Randall and I had 3 first-round grades on edges right there. I've talked about quarterbacks and offensive tackle, which you haven't seen those watch lists. Go check those out on the YouTube channel. We got that content there too. Shameless plug. I think he's going to be a top 5 overall prospect on the film grade, but the fact that he plays safety, it's going to push Caleb Downs down the board, and somebody's going to pick him at 12th or 13th, and we're all going to look like idiots in 5 years because he should have went top 3.
Yep.
So for anybody that is catching the podcast for the first time, at Draft Professor, you are going to see a lot of boards. And you're going to see, I'm going to say, boards that are different. So there's 22 podcasters that are putting out daily draft content. And you're going to see some boards that are different. I believe Bill, Newt, and I will be recording offensive boards next week. So if you want to get top 10 at every offensive position, I believe we have, actually that podcast is scheduled to record in 2 weeks. So
yes,
we'll have offense and defense coming at you. We have daily draft content, which includes breakdowns of Michigan State, of South Carolina, of LSU, Ohio State. All of that is coming at you on this station. You just have to tune in every day. Anything. And if you want to schedule, follow me on Twitter, because it's in the Twitter feed as well as to which content is coming at you live, which day. For Randall, for Bill, for myself, for the 80 podcasters at the Draft Professor, thank you for watching, everybody, and we'll see you on a podcast again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Peace.